What should have been a routine 3-hour flight had somehow stretched into 5 full years in the air. Strangest of all, none of the passengers had noticed anything unusual during their journey. When the pilot contacted air traffic control to request landing clearance, ground personnel nearly lost their minds upon hearing it was Flight 828. After thousands of frantic confirmations, authorities reluctantly permitted the plane to land, but diverted it to a remote backup airstrip. As passengers disembarked, they were met not with welcoming families, but with a swarm of police officers and journalists. The confused travelers erupted into panic, demanding to know what was happening. A bald detective stepped forward and delivered news that shattered their reality. While only 3 hours had passed for those on board, the outside world had endured 5 long years. The passengers stared at each other in disbelief, struggling to process this impossibility. To investigate the anomaly, authorities impounded the aircraft and detained everyone on board for questioning. Yet all passengers gave identical accounts. Nothing unusual had occurred during the flight beyond some rough turbulence. With no evidence of foul play, officials had no choice but to release the passengers to their families. The reunions were bittersweet, though the travelers had experienced merely 3 hours. Their loved ones had waited 5.5 years. The world had changed irrevocably in their absence. A daughter who'd been 7 years old now stood before her parents as a young woman. Twin siblings, once the same age, now existed in different stages of life. But the true horror was only beginning. One day, while riding a bus, Lisa suddenly screamed at the driver to stop. The vehicle lurched to a halt just as a young boy wandered into the street. Had Lisa not spoken up, he would have been struck. Yet Lisa herself couldn't explain her premonition. Ever since disembarking from that fateful 5-year flight, disturbing voices and visions had begun haunting her mind, and she knew with dreadful certainty that the nightmare was far from over.